I'm fuming.
I'm fucking gutted. I was looking forward to a good skirmish with good old John today, but there we go. We'll have to make do. Maybe we can get him in digitally.
You know, the theatre, the WWE style build-up, you know, from John Fury is just, you know, it was an act today. It was a parody. He quietened down. You know, I'm glad I didn't know there was person.
Eddie Hall has come out after the airport confrontation and made it clear emotions were running extremely high in that moment with John Fury. Eddie did not hold back in describing how heated things became, suggesting that the situation could have escalated far worse if it was not controlled.
He's just a fucking idiot. Plain and simple. I mean, geez, look, we've all seen the tantrums he's had. You know, headbutting walls and headbutting people and smashing Perspex glass and holding his bowls and saying he's the king of the world and King Kong balls and whatever else. And I was just fed up of it.
Eddie Hall reflects on John Fury's personality and openly labels him as hot-headed, suggesting that his aggressive nature can be both an advantage and a major weakness. Eddie also hints at John's past reputation for losing control in heated situations. Despite that, Eddie keeps a surprisingly calm tone here, showing he is not being dragged into emotional reactions during this build-up.
But yeah, he's very hot-headed, which I think is a good thing for him, but also a bad thing for him. You know, the guy's done time for being hot-headed.
Be any more of it, that's for sure. And everybody wants to show some respect to each other. And let's see the fight where it should happen in the ring on Saturday night.
John Fury did not hold back in this reaction, as he heavily backed Tommy Fury and questioned Eddie Hall's ability to even land clean punches in the ring. He continues pushing the narrative that Eddie is stepping into a completely different world where experience and speed will dominate. Still, the confidence in his tone feels extremely emotional and adds even more heat to an already explosive build-up.
You don't know what he's in for. He thinks because Tommy's small, Tommy's like a pocket rocket, isn't he, compared to him? And I got that body belt on, I'm feeling the power. He can't take that. That's why he wants to do 2-minute rounds, isn't it? He can't do the 3. You know, I can't blame him. You've got to give Eddie all props because he's not a fighter. He's going to get in with Tommy knowing full well what can happen to him. And the only thing he's going to try and do is swing.
Eddie Hall finally breaks down the frustration behind the airport confrontation and makes it clear he felt pushed into reacting after constant disrespect and aggression from the Fury side. He accuses them of talking big but backing it up with chaos rather than discipline. Eddie's tone here shows controlled anger rather than panic, and it highlights why he is now more motivated than ever to prove himself inside the boxing ring against Tommy Fury.
And then I was just so fed up. I was trying to get in nowhere with these guys. I'm like, look, you talk the talk. You fucking walk around headbutting and smacking people and punching windows and whatever else. I said, well, why don't you guys fucking put your money where your mouth is for once and fucking do something?
Tommy Fury dismisses the idea that strength alone can decide a boxing match and insists that experience and skill will be the real difference against Eddie Hall. He sounds confident in his technical edge, but the build-up pressure is rising as fans wonder whether his boxing ability can hold up if Eddie manages to close distance early and turn the fight into a physical war.
You know, if strongmen, being the strongest man in the world and picking up half a ton meant you was the best fighter of all, everyone would be a world champion, wouldn't they? If being big and strong meant you could fight, everyone would be a world champion. But in this game, it's not about how much weight you can lift. It's not about how strong you are. There's a ton more things to the fight game. And that's what I'm looking to show Eddie on the night of.
The Wade Plemons gives a harsh breakdown of Eddie Hall's boxing limitations and suggests his reliance on power shots could become a serious weakness. He warns that without timing and control, Eddie may struggle against a seasoned boxer like Tommy Fury. However, Eddie's raw power still keeps the threat alive because one clean shot could completely change the fight regardless of technical flaws.
Just pull off a miracle right hand. What I'm seeing makes me even more skeptical that that's possible because he doesn't understand space and distance. He doesn't understand timing and rhythm. He doesn't understand how valuable his right hand is. And it seems like I'm being counterintuitive because all he's throwing is right hands, but he needs to value that thing. It needs to be, like I said, a weapon of mass destruction. You only bring it out at certain points so Tommy doesn't get a read on it, and also so you don't gash him.
John Fury continues his aggressive verbal attack as he insists Eddie Hall will not be able to handle Tommy Fury once they meet in the ring. He paints a picture of dominance for Tommy, claiming Eddie will struggle with pace and endurance. But the emotional intensity in John's words only adds more pressure to the Fury camp, making the entire situation feel more chaotic heading into fight night.
Tommy's going to do the chinning with him, as you've seen today. Eddie Hall, when Tommy's fought him, he don't know what fight again. You don't know what he's in for. He thinks because Tommy's small, Tommy's like a pocket rocket, isn't he, compared to him? And I got that body belt on, I'm feeling the power. He can't take that. That's why he wants to do 2-minute rounds, isn't it?
Johnny Nelson breaks down John Fury's emotional reaction and suggests he often gets carried away in the heat of the moment without fully controlling his actions. He implies that the airport situation has now put serious pressure on John to stay composed moving forward. From a wider angle, this also shifts attention back to Eddie Hall, who appears calmer and more focused while the Fury side continues dealing with emotional fallout and public scrutiny.
The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with Matt. The authorities will have a...
Eddie Hearn acknowledges that the confrontation between Eddie Hall and John Fury crossed a line, but also admits that moments like this inevitably boost attention around the fight. He highlights the reality of boxing promotion, where controversy often fuels interest. Still, from a fan perspective, Eddie Hall benefits again because the spotlight keeps shifting toward him, while John Fury's behavior continues to dominate headlines outside the ring.
I mean, listen, it's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it, but he's done.
Tommy Fury makes it clear that the real tension sits between Eddie Hall and John Fury, positioning himself as the one stepping into a family-driven situation rather than personal hatred. This shows how deep the storyline has become, where emotions from the Fury camp are now shaping the entire narrative. Meanwhile, Eddie Hall looks like the only man focused purely on settling things inside the ring, rather than getting caught in the outside noise.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the real beef is between Eddie and my dad. You know, that's genuinely what has happened here. I'm only doing this fight because of my dad. So the real beef is between Eddie and my dad, and I'm obviously just stepping up to the plate. Tyson's on a different stratosphere. Basically, Eddie was having a pop between all the Furies. You know, he wanted to fight with a Fury, and he's got...
Simon Jordan strongly criticizes John Fury's behavior and calls the airport confrontation unacceptable and thuggish, adding even more public pressure on the Fury camp. His comments reflect how divided opinion has become around this situation. While John Fury continues to spark controversy, Eddie Hall is gaining unexpected support from fans who feel he has handled the situation with more restraint and composure than expected.
No, not really. It's thuggish behaviour. John Fury's, is boorish, thuggish, unedifying, unpalatable, uncouth, vulgar behaviour. Absolutely. But what do you expect from John Fury? John Fury's been in prison for gouging someone's eyes out. What did you expect him to do? Convert into a Samaritan? Is it a nice look? No. Was it a nice look over the years in boxing about so many things? This ridiculous sentimentalising of society and expecting everyone to behave in their best version of themselves.
Frank Warren admits this fight has become a massive commercial attraction and that the financial reward alone makes it a huge opportunity for everyone involved. He acknowledges the danger, but also the business reality behind boxing promotions. As the hype continues to grow, Eddie Hall remains at the center of attention, with his name driving interest while John Fury's actions keep adding fuel to the controversy surrounding the event.
It's grabbed everybody's attention for various reasons, and they're getting, Tommy's getting life-changing money, and, I can't knock that. You're in the ring, it's a dangerous place to be, and, my job is if I see a fight that I feel he can win and I'll put him into it, then I'll do that, and it gets him further up the ladder. Not only do I think he can win it, obviously this is a high-profile fight, but he's getting a truckload of money for it, so it ticks all the boxes.
Dave Allen reacts with genuine surprise, but also amusement at how this crossover fight has come together, pointing out how strange it looks from a traditional boxing perspective. He suggests that friendships and business may be blending together behind the scenes, with money being a major driving force. This reflects the wider feeling in boxing right now, where entertainment value is starting to outweigh sporting logic, and Eddie Hall finds himself right in the middle of that spectacle.
World's strongest man, amazing. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant. He's fighting Tommy Fury. I thought they were mates. They probably are mates. They're probably for fucking fortune as well.
Dave Allen gives a brutally honest take, admitting he respects both fighters, but still sees this whole event as more of a spectacle than a pure boxing contest. He highlights the modern shift in boxing where crossover fights attract massive attention even if they divide opinion. While he criticizes the sport's direction, he still acknowledges the drawing power of Eddie Hall, whose name continues to fuel curiosity and debate.
Watch it. Of course I'll watch it. I like Tommy Fury a lot. I'm a Tommy Fury fan. Eddie Hall. I'm an Eddie Hall fan. I like the World's Strongest Man. A lot of respect for him. So of course I'll watch it. I'll watch it as it's a spectacle in it. It's part of the new bit of circusry that's come into boxing. All these exhibitions, different people from different sports coming in. But for all intents and purposes, as a boxing match, what a load of bollocks. Yeah, I don't think I don't like it too much. But I'll watch it because it's like it's interesting in lots of ways, and I think people find it interesting.
Simon Jordan treats the whole event as entertainment, but still admits there is a dangerous edge to it when stepping inside the ring with someone like Eddie Hall. His comments reflect a mix of humor and realism, acknowledging both the spectacle and the risk. This again shows how Eddie Hall has managed to create intrigue, even from people who do not fully support crossover boxing, while John Fury's side remains under heavier scrutiny.
I mean, won't it? If it's a good, fun event and you take it for what it is, I mean, I wouldn't want to be in it. You know, I wouldn't want to be across the ring from this fella. But notwithstanding, I'm quite happy for Tommy Fury to get a punch in the face.
The Wade Plemons delivers a harsh assessment of Eddie Hall's sparring, questioning the quality and structure of his training camp. He suggests there are clear technical gaps that could be exposed under pressure against a trained boxer. However, despite the criticism, Eddie's power and athletic background still keep him dangerous, meaning even poor-looking footage does not remove the threat he carries into the ring.
The new sparring footage that I just saw is abysmal. I don't know what Eddie's been training. I don't know who has been training him. I know that he has been training, but my goodness, I don't know who with, what they're supposed to be working on, or why. But let me just show you what I mean. Eddie Hall, training footage and sparring footage just dropped, and it is not.
Vidal Riley gives a balanced but cautious view, leaning towards Tommy Fury due to his boxing background while still admitting Eddie Hall is unpredictable. He clearly sees this as a commercially strong matchup rather than a straightforward sporting contest. Yet that unpredictability is exactly what keeps Eddie dangerous, because one clean moment could completely flip expectations in a fight built on contrast.
I mean, Eddie, when I sparred Eddie, he was 140 kg. I don't know how much he's gonna have to be for Tommy. But Tommy should win, innit? Like, should win. But Eddie Hall, who knows? Who knows? It makes sense for Tommy, innit? It's a good fight.
Tom Aspinall breaks the fight down in the most realistic way, acknowledging both Tommy Fury's technical edge and Eddie Hall's raw knockout threat. He presents this as a true clash of skill versus power, where either man could win depending on the moment. This is exactly why the fight has gained so much attention, because Eddie Hall remains a genuine danger despite being the underdog on paper.
Fight. Tommy is obviously a boxer. Eddie can fight as well, though, to be fair. So, yeah.
You've trained with both of them, though. What's the skills? What's the breakdown for this one?
Tommy's been boxing all his life, so you would think that the edge should go to Tommy, but Eddie can actually genuinely fight. So.
The Wade Plemons doubles down on his analysis, arguing that Tommy Fury will likely control the fight if he can avoid early chaos from Eddie Hall. He highlights Eddie's lack of refined boxing technique while still recognizing his athletic explosiveness and punching power. The comparison to past fights shows the concern is consistency, not ability, and that remains Eddie's biggest question mark heading into a high-pressure showdown.
You're right. I mean, Eddie's got muscles all over his body, but you can't put muscles on chins. So, and that's what I'm about to expose. Listen, we've seen good big men, in the ring all the time. But what's different, the muscles can't get on the chin, and I'm looking to find that chin. So we'll.
The Wade Plemons doubles down on his analysis, arguing that Tommy Fury will likely control the fight if he can avoid early chaos from Eddie Hall. He highlights Eddie's lack of refined boxing technique while still recognizing his athletic explosiveness and punching power. The comparison to past fights shows the concern is consistency, not ability, and that remains Eddie's biggest question mark heading into a high-pressure showdown.